Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. 520-9710. 888-520-9710.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
On Free FM.
This is Free FM. We are Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
Oh.
We expecting company?
I think we are.
I should have straightened up a little bit.
Should have combed your hair, Heidi.
I know.
Oh, my God!
It's Jorge Garcia.
From Lost, oh, my God.
Sit down over here, Jorge.
Oh, look at
Frosty's up giving hugs. He
Frosty's
never does this to
hugged
people.
anybody.
Come on.
Wow.
Dude.
Hey, what's up?
So how you been?
Good.
Still shooting the show?
No, we're all finished. We wrapped the finale airs on Wednesday.
I can't wait.
It'll be good.
Are you still living in Hawaii, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you're just in
sitting
L.A.
on those secrets has been driving me crazy. Just
can't imagine.
Just let the season finish, then I don't know anything else.
Do you know anything yet, script-wise, about next season, or do they keep that from you guys because they don't want it to leak out?
I know nothing about next season. I mean, I don't
Really? Or are you just saying that?
No, really, I don't know.
They don't
anything.
tell you.
No.
And is there the one more season or two more?
No, we're going to do 3 more seasons.
3 more, wrap it up in 2010, I hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not one of
The
those
short
things,
seasons.
because the weird thing about Lost is that it's not one of those things where you're like, cool, we're on for 3 more years, because they kill people off. You can't be like, I'm buying a house in Maui. You can't do that necessarily because you could be killed first season.
Yeah, well, it's a very dangerous island.
How much notice do the ones who get killed get? I mean, you have people that you didn't see coming at all, like Boone and lots of.
Well, ruin it for me.
I
know.
Anna Lucia, you see people killed. We don't know what John Locke's dead yet or not, but it's amazing. I wonder how much notice these people get. Does the agent call them and go, I got good news and bad news. Good news is you've been on Lost. Bad news is you die next week. You really don't know how long your character is going to go, do you?
Right, they'll get a call from the executive producers. There's been people who've had, months to prepare, but there's also people who've had weeks, just like, all right, this story's coming out, and, it doesn't look good. Or or sometimes they'll give you the other call, will be like, listen, I know it looks really scary at the end of this episode, but don't worry, you're still in the next one, and stuff like that, so.
Because, I know you can't say anything, but the rumor is Charlie may, of course, get it. That's been on all the chat rooms and stuff. And base where it was left last week, I thought he's going to drown, but he didn't. Yeah,
right.
He could still die.
Right.
Desmond said he's going to die.
Yeah, that's been the thread this whole season is that, Charlie, you're going to die, so.
I mean, do you get that a lot? Because, like I said, I watched the first season of Lost, and then when the second season rolled around, I missed a couple of episodes. And when you try to catch it, you're like, wait, what now? You're lost, So I thought, I'll just wait for the DVD to come out. But, Frosty will come in because you guys are on Wednesday night, right? Mm-hmm. Every Thursday morning and be like, oh, my God, Lost, was brilliant.
Videotape on VHS, put it in, right to the point. You have to watch this.
And so we see bits and pieces of
Which
Lost.
makes no sense to them.
Yeah, I'm going,
look, they're buried alive, look.
Oh, right.
And Frank and I are like, okay, what? I don't know what's going on.
I was watching the first season, and I think I checked out. Not because of I didn't like the show. Like the show, but if you miss a couple, then you gotta. It's hard to get back in. And with the polar bears on the island. Now, looking back at episodes that have aired, is there a storyline that you're shaking your head at, like, oh crap, why'd they go there? And then they pulled back really quickly because that was just too stupid.
Well, I think that's part of what they've been doing since the beginning of the show. It's to do, I know what I mean, but it's the idea that Damon had said you got to risk jumping the shark like almost every episode to really stay on the edge. And introducing, in the pilot, they had the thing that was knocking the trees down.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, is that a dinosaur? Well, I was with the show when it was just survivors, but now there's a monster on the thing, and it's just planting the seeds to, it just adds to the complex mystery.
The cool thing about Lost, for a viewer like me, is you never know what's going to come out of nowhere. A hatch
Right.
You know, the smoke monster, the others. I mean, there's all these weird things you wouldn't even dream of. And because of that, I know a lot of people in some of the chat rooms, you know, the conspiracy lost thing, what's going on, would suggest that maybe the writers are making it up week by week that even they didn't know. But can you shed any insight as to, do you think the writers really know where they're going? Or are they just sort of winging this as they go along?
Well, they do. I mean, that's why they wanted to have an end date for the show, to know that it was going to go 3 more seasons, because they knew they wanted to get to a certain point. But usually with a show, you know, it's year to year whether or not you're getting picked up and stuff. So it's like you don't know how long you have to tell a certain story. And so finding the end date, they go, good, now we have the arc. Because they definitely had, like, by mid-season, we want to find the hatch, for example. And then by then, we want to actually bust it open. And they had certain things like that there's certain steps they want to take. And there's, like, the little things are to fill in, basically.
There's lots of little clues that, if you know what to look for later on, it makes sense. Those who tape Lost, you go back and watch it. And I have to confess, I did this, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I rewound and watched a little thing you did about 4 times to see if it meant something. You can tell me if it did or not. When the lady parachuted in from the helicopter crash, and you're there, and she wakes up, and you're the only one there. You were dialing on the non-working satellite phone a number and said, Mom. And I thought, okay, the number you just punched in, does that number mean something?
Or is he overthinking it?
I'm following your thumb. There's an 8, there's a 5, there's a...
Actually, that wasn't even my hand.
Oh.
That's so funny.
You're so observant, Frosty.
They created the phone, and then they wanted a phone that looked much more high-tech that they added later, and they had an insert with actually the person who's my stand-in to just punch a blank screen, and then everything that was added in post, like in CGI.
So funny.
Oh, see?
But sometimes they'll add scenes to earlier episodes that haven't aired yet just to plant more seeds as they flesh out stories that are coming in the future. Like in season 1, I had a backgammon game with Walt, and Walt kept calling his roles.
Right.
That was added way at the last minute. And the day we shot it, they added the thing about where he says, you owe me $50,000, and I say, you'll get it. Because they were fleshing out that I was going to be a millionaire also.
Won the lottery in the show. Great episode, great storyline with the lottery.
Jorge, do you and the cast sit around and talk like the regular people do? Because if you don't know what the story, like you don't know, are you all dead and you're in hell? You don't know if it really is an island and it's all, you sit around and go, what do you think it could be that we're dead? Do you think it could be that?
Well, we did season 1.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of, we just let them unravel the story for us.
You stay away
You
from
just
the writing.
It gets too heady and complicated.
Yeah.
Although the big reveal at the end of this finale might be something that we're going to talk about for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
You're getting Frosty all
Could
excited.
be.
Yeah, it's good, it's good.
You know, a lot of people would say when Lost was on season 1 and into 2, they'd say, "Well, how come Hurley hasn't lost any weight?" What they don't realize is, first of all, the show takes place. We've only spent 30 or 60 or 90 days so far in real time.
I think it's about 90.
90 days. And second of all, anyone who watches Lost, they explain that because he'd been hoarding food out in the jungle.
You're like, oh, God damn it, when you read the script. I'm hoarding food in the jungle.
I'm the one everybody likes. Why are you getting that?
Do you mind taking any calls here, Jorge, while we have you here?
A lot of Lost fans out there.
Jorge Garcia from Lost is here. Our number 888-520-9710. Mary in Tempe, Arizona. Hello.
Hi there. I have to say you are my favorite character, and I'm a huge Lost fan, but you rock.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited that you're on today. And I'd like to, first of all, say I'm sorry they killed off your love interest. I was very disappointed in that.
Right.
But there's something I've been dying to know that they haven't brought up since it happened. And I was wondering, do you foresee anything coming back with that character? They buried 2 people alive. Are they not going to address that issue?
As of right now, I don't know of anything that's coming up where it's, all of a sudden an arm's going to stick out of the ground or something. I don't know.
Mary, if they're dead, that's kind of the end of that
Yeah,
storyline.
they're dead.
How do you know they're dead? They were alive when they buried them, and that was only 3 episodes ago.
All right, that's 3 days ago, though.
Yeah. Keep watching, huh, Mary? Wasn't that creepy, though? Ooh.
Yeah, it was creepy, but by the way, you are the best. I just adore you.
Thank you.
You were my favorite on Becker, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, when you were on that show.
I know.
A little outside, I was like, he's the guy from Becker when you got on Lost.
You also own Curb Your Enthusiasm playing a drug dealer.
Yeah, that got me basically the meeting for Lost.
That did?
They saw me on Lost, and they said, we got to get that guy. And they go, well, for what role? And they didn't even know yet, and they ended up writing her for me.
Oh, wow.
When, they had a big cast, obviously, and that's maybe the luxury with a big cast. You can kill a few off and still have plenty of people left. That's Mike in Anaheim. You're with Frosty, Heidi, Frank, and Jorge Garcia.
All right. Long time, first time. But Jorge Garcia, man, you're my favorite. Like the other lady said, if you could die, I'm not going to watch Lost anymore. I have two questions. One is, in the season, the last season, is there going to be a movie, like in a movie theater?
I have no idea. I knew that was a rumor going around, but...
Like an X-Files thing?
Yeah. I don't think so. I think that's having the end date is what's going to let them close the show the right way while it's on TV.
Oh, okay. And second, like, that ghost monster, nobody knows, nobody gets it. What's the deal with that?
I don't get it. That's my main question.
What's your theory? Do you have a theory about it, though? They don't tell you any more than they tell me or Mike there, but what do you think the smoke monster?
I got nothing.
Nothing?
Nah.
That's a tough one. Carlos in Anaheim.
Yeah, hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm kind of nervous because this is my first time calling, but yeah, I just wanted to say what's up to you guys. I love your show and everything. And what's up to you, too, Jorge? How's it going, bro?
It's going well. How you doing?
Cool, man. Pretty good. I love the show, man, and I'm, like, really looking forward to it, you know, the season finale.
Thanks.
And, yeah, I just wanted to say what's up, man.
Hey, man. Nice to meet you.
Easiest call today.
Yeah, great to meet
I
you.
just wanted to say he talked to Jorge Garcia.
So you grew up in Nebraska, right?
No, I grew up in southern Orange County. Southern Capistrano.
Where did you get Nebraska from?
I was born in Nebraska, but we moved to California when I was like 2.
So it makes you sound like, I moved out here, but so no Nebraska experience at all.
California.
You forgot it.
No, I got nothing.
So what, California and Hawaii?
Yeah, California and
It's a
Hawaii.
nice life.
Yeah. So if you didn't get into acting, what was Jorge's road?
Plan B.
I didn't really have a plan B. I was working at Borders and just, hustling the acting career. I was always an actor that worked at Borders, though. I was always like, I'd have to take sometimes long lunches for auditions and stuff like that. But
are you one of those guys that you're like, I don't really do anything else, and all of a sudden at a party you're breaking out a guitar, and people are like, and you're like, what? And you play music too?
No.
Acting's all you got.
Acting's all he can do.
I sing a little, maybe, but
see, I knew it.
What's your karaoke tune?
You see, it's Can't Take My Eyes Off You, I think.
Oh.
Or Delilah. No, Delilah is a big one.
You know Delilah Frost?
That's the showstopper. It's like the elevator version.
We're going to need some cocktails, though, for Jorge, I think.
Doobie doobie.
Jorge, who is most unlike their character on the show in real life? Obviously, actors act, and they're not who they are in person. Who of the big, massive cast on Lost would you say is totally different in real life from who they have to play on the show?
Well, at this stage, it's probably Michael Emerson.
Who is?
Benjamin Linus.
Oh, the creepy, bug-eyed scientist guy. He's not creepy and...
Much less creepy, yeah.
Really? He's a good creepy guy.
He is. He's a great creepy guy.
And you love the blonde girl, too, with her, the other doctor, right?
Oh, yeah, she's great, too. I forget her name now.
Elizabeth Mitchell?
Elizabeth,
she was in
very good.
Gia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Chinese girl still on the show?
Korean, yes.
But she's Chinese on the show, right?
She's Korean on the show, too.
All the interviews go this way for you, right?
In season 1, I thought she was Chinese, and I'd always say something like, we don't understand Chinese, until finally I learned myself.
That's funny. Now you're correcting Frank.
Since you're still in season 1, it's totally understandable.
Norm, you're with Frosty, Heidi, Frank, and Hurley from Lost.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
I wanted to ask, in season 1, I believe, they were sailing around the island with Desmond's boat. There was a statue of a foot with only 4 toes.
God, you guys notice a lot of stuff.
Does that mean, maybe you wouldn't know either, that we haven't revisited that in the show, so maybe that means nothing. Or maybe it means everything.
I think that's another seed to plant to, explain later.
You appeared, I guess, at the beginning of the Emmys with Conan in a little skit. It was very funny last season, pointing out the fact, absurd as it was, that Lost won the Emmy for Best Drama Series, and the next year wasn't even nominated. Right. Was everyone on the show terribly disappointed that there was that much of a lack of recognition for season 2, which I thought was just as good as 1?
I don't know. It's sometimes it's hard to come off a win and be like, wow, not even really? Wow. But you can't do the show for awards. You just gotta be we're doing the show that we would want to see, so we just kind of, all right, fine.
So Lost is a show that if you weren't on and you were still working at the bookstore, you would TiVo every Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd be as hardcore to go on the internet and like read the blogs and stuff about it.
I have no life, Jorge. That's my time is spent online.
I'm that now when I'm on the show. I mean, it's easy for me. I'll download all the podcasts that talk about it, and that'll be. I listen to that on the drive time and be like, oh, guess what they think this time.
Do you have a screen name, Frosty, when you're in the Lost chat rooms?
If I did, I wouldn't say it now because that would give away my cover, wouldn't it?
Hurley Lover 69.
Oh, that's... Oh, you sick. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Doobie doo.
Darlene in Arizona, you with Frosty, Heidi, Frank, and Jorge Garcia from Lost.
Good day. I would like to ask Hurley, what happened to Michael and Walt? If they got to go home, how come they haven't sent back any help?
Well... I don't know, and we're assuming that he sent them in the right direction, because we know Desmond was sailing around the island for a while and never found his way off. So
I hope they drown because I hated Michael. But you know what's amazing, and I know you probably get so sick of this, everyone assumes that you have all the answers.
Right.
They stop you on the street, you're trying to shop, and, you know.
It was, because when we first introduced the show, and we'd go to, like, Upfronts and have to explain, you know, this new show that we were a part of, we had a meeting with JJ, and he's like, listen, we know you don't know anything about what's going to happen, what's going on, but just say, we know it, we know what's going on, it's awesome, we planned it all. But then we finally, I think Terry O'Quinn let out of the bag that we have no idea what's coming up on the show, and now it's all safe to say, yeah, we have no idea. That's part of our show's thing now.
Who do you hang out with on filming breaks if there's one person you buddy up with?
A few of them. Like, Dom lives around the corner, and so, you know, we'd go over to his house, and...
That would be on the show...
Charlie,
rock star.
And we'll hang out a lot outside, and I hang out with Daniel Day Kim, who plays Jin, and Josh, who plays Sawyer.
So the season finale, is it season finale?
Wednesday, yes, it is.
Is this coming Wednesday,
right.
ABC.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour finale.
Oh, Frosty,
finale. Don't call me when it's on, because I'll be watching.
You better unplug your phone. Well, maybe not.
Now, the rest of you, go buy the DVD, season 1 and 2. 3 will be out soon, obviously, as it wraps up Wednesday night. And then don't miss a single episode next year. The best show on TV. I'm not just saying that because you're here.
No,
I say that when you're not here.
He loves it.
Thanks for coming in, Jorge.
Thank you.
Or Hurley, whatever. Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. I'm all giddy.
You are.
I have goosebumps.
That's the first guest. In 7 years we've been doing the show, it's the first time you've ever gotten out of your seat and wrapped your arms around somebody.
Really? I haven't got up and hugged anyone else? No one?
Nope.
Diana Ross?
Nope.
No one?
Did we interview Diana Ross?
No,
yeah, Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick. I get those confused.
Ow.
Wow, that's
so
great.
Very different.
That's awesome. Jorge Garcia, Hurley. That makes my week. You know, if you want to keep making my week, I've got my other 5 on the list of the big 6. If you want to book these.
All right.
It would just, I would love you forever.
All right.
We can cross off Hurley. We got Hurley in, which is amazing.
That was number 1.
In no particular order. Elton, it'd be nice if he came in, though I have met him already.
Okay.
Anne Murray, though I've met her as well. It'd be nice to have her here. We could sing songs together. You needed me. Gordon Lightfoot, Don Henley, and Chef Gordon Ramsay. If you can get those in here.
You hear that, Krista? All right.
In any particular order. Don could be before Gordon, Gordon before Don, and it doesn't matter. But none will be as fun as meeting Hurley.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be tough for him because everyone is asking him questions, and he knows what's going to happen, but can't tell you what's going to happen. So it really limits what he can even say.
Yeah.
I can't really say that. Yeah, maybe that goes that way. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't.
I kind of detected that halfway. We had the screen full of people wanting to ask specific questions, and clearly, like Frank said, he can't answer. But I'm guessing that they just don't tell the individual actors a lot about what's going on because they don't want it to get out, even in a drunken stupor. So they probably just, you know what you need to know.
But I always wonder, like...
Well, he already knows because he's already shot it, right?
Yeah, but only his scenes.
In a situation like that...
Yeah, I guess so.
He's not in, he wouldn't know.
Does he lay in bed? You know, because he's got this girlfriend, hot girlfriend, too, by the way, because I was...
What, in real life?
What?
In real life or on the show?
Yeah, no, in real life, because I saw an article about him and this really pretty girl who he's with, and they just adopted a puppy, and that's what I mentioned to him off the air. I'm like, I didn't want to say, still with your girl, because then if you're not, you know how that goes, oh, yeah, we broke up. So I mentioned the dog to see then if he would go, yeah, he's back with my girlfriend. But I'm wondering if he lays in bed at night with her and, like, if you're not allowed to tell anybody publicly, you still tell the person you're married to. Like, even if you're on a jury, you go, well, I'm not supposed to say anything.
No, you don't.
Well, I'm just
That's
wondering
why
if people do.
God, Heidi, you're that chick. It's like you can't let anybody have a secret.
No.
Of honor code.
But if you love me,
I took an oath.
No, I told you the Italian
I
had...
signed a contract. You don't love me.
if you love me, honey, you'll trust me to keep it a secret.
No, one of with the Italian was on jury duty with this murder trial or something, and she was gone for a couple of weeks, and every time she'd come home, she'd be like, oh my God. But she took it seriously. I go, so like, just in a nutshell. And she goes, I can't say anything about it. And I was so attracted to that it's like, wow, you're really taking this seriously. You won't even tell me while we're laying here. It's like, not saying a word. Not a word.
You were surprised she was taking your jury duty seriously?
But,
wow, you're actually
but
taking
jury
this
duty's a little different than I'm on a hit television show. And she'd be like, so honey, it's like, okay. What happens?
So you're saying jury duty's not as important as a hit television show?
I'm saying a hit television show is not as important as jury duty.
More important.
So you'd think if you're on a show, you could sort of reveal. Jorge could tell his girlfriend.
No, see, it would kill your career if you're on a show that is keeping a big secret.
Yeah.
24 is early in the season. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't want to know what runs the show. Lost, clearly. You don't want to know the answers till the end. There'd be no suspense. X-Files was the same way. So if you're in these shows whose whole success is based on keeping the big secret a secret till the end, you can't risk letting the cat out of the bag. And if you do, it's the end of your career because no one will ever hire you again. So I don't think they tell you, first of all, any more than you need to know. And second of all, those who do, you're probably under penalty of death and losing a tongue.
That's true.
If you speak. But, of course, you wouldn't want to anyway because it'd be career suicide. Anyway, that's cool. Lost, Wednesday night. Why don't you guys come over and I'll have a Lost finale party, even though you haven't watched...
I'm busy. I'm gardening.
Are you?
Yeah, I was kind of kept out of that interview because I'm not familiar with the show. Like I said, I left when the polar bears were on the island. The polar bears still around?
They were explained later. There were bears.
Are they still called polar bears there?
There was weird scientists doing experiments, and that was they had bear cages, and they came back to that.
See, it's so weird. I know, I'm sure it's a great show, but when you hear bits and pieces of what Frosty says, I'm like, yeah, sounds intriguing.
There's this big smoky thing, and it jumped out and got the guy and slammed him into a tree. You're like, yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get on that.
My sister is the same way about Heroes, and I know their season finale is tonight. Also, season finale of 24 is tonight. And my sister will send me these annoying... I love her to death, but she'll send me annoying emails that go on the whole screen. I'm scrolling down. I'm reading page after page of her... Can you believe on Heroes that so-and-so did this and that and blah, blah, blah? And it means absolutely nothing to me. I could be reading Egyptian hieroglyphic... those squiggly words. Those things... Because I don't watch the show. So it's totally meaningless.
So what you're saying is you and her are a lot alike.
Right.
Pages and pages of email. That means nothing.
Kind of like this. This person emailed and said, you're one of the others, Hurley, but I won't tell anybody.
Oh!
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
He could be one of the... No, he's not one of the others. The mad scientist from the other side of the island. God, there's so much... I want you guys to just get season 1 and season 2, watch them in order, take a couple weeks off. Then we'll get season 3 in about 3-4 months when it's out, and then you will understand the fascination with Lost.
People who couldn't see the interview on radio want to know who's bigger, Jorge or Frosty.
We posted photos at the end. I guess we'll get those on the website in a bit.
Yeah, I think Dominic is working to put that on the Newton Cradle right now.
After we had the group photos, I asked if I could just pose with Hurley myself. It's for the bragging photo. Like it was just me and him.
Right. Just hanging out at the bar.
If it's me, him, and you two, obviously it's part of an appearance thing. But if it's just me and him, I could tell people that we're friends or something.
Yeah, in front of the radio station logo and Miller Lite Lounge background. It's just you and him hanging out.
This is my wall at home is decorated like a radio station. Anyway, so posed with a photo, and I thought at the time it's pretty much a tie. I think gut size is about the same.
You're shorter.
He's not as big as you would think. Now, he may have lost weight. Television makes you look bigger than you are. Obviously, Jorge's a big guy, but he's not as big as he appears on the screen. And I appear bigger on the screen than I am as well. So I look fatter and he's a little thinner. And
yeah, I'm interested to see that picture.
I think it's a tie. I was sucking in. But even so,
I'd hate to be a pizza between the two of you. Jesus Christ. Because normally if we have a guest in, I'll do my piggyback photo.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't offer it up this time to Jorge.
No.
Hop on! Didn't do it.
That might have been a little tough.
It's kind of an inspiration to all the struggling actors and actresses in this town, this godforsaken place where very, very few actually make it. And a lot of you never do, though you try. Here he was, before he got on Lost, working at Borders Bookstore. It's probably a minimum wage job, struggling, and then went from obscurity to huge time success.
Well, he has that special
like
something.
that.
He has a boyish charm about him.
What?
Jorge.
On the interview?
No, just his face. He's got a real sweet face. He's got a unique look. So he stands out in a crowd of wannabe actors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got that special quality.
Well, you should have told him that while I was here. Then he probably would have smiled and chuckled and relaxed a little bit. It seemed like he is tense.
Tense? Okay. I didn't detect any tension. I think it's just the way he is.
Just a little, So, what's happened to those dead people? I don't know.
Well, he's probably been asked that 10,000.
I don't know. We could watch the show.
But he's been asked so many times over and over and over. It's like
so
me.
He's bored with us, pretty much.
No, not bored. It's just, it's like when we go out and people come up to me and say, hey, say something funny. Like
why do they ever ask you to do that when you don't do that normally?
Now that's funny.
Speaking of that, did you hear the lady yesterday when we were at the Pride Parade, to go back for that just a second, like what you're saying? We're trying to get into the parade, the festival. And Frank and I are standing there. I'm like, yeah, we're here to check in. Heidi Hamilton, Frank Kramer. I don't see you anywhere. So finally she finds the names and she goes, okay, I'm going to need some ID. And we're like, well, I don't have any ID on me. I'm here. And she goes, well, I don't know. I mean, I need to prove that you're you so that we can let you in. I'm like,
wasn't there a plaque inside with your name on it? The TV crew waiting?
I know. I was that a-hole. And I'm like, well, I got a special recognition award today. I'm.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to piss Heidi off.
I get mad. So we're sitting there. She goes, well,
don't you know who I am?
Say something like when you were on the radio. I'm like, what are you supposed to say?
Do a traffic report. Yeah. Well, the 101's clogged up.
So finally she gives us our entry things in, but like with that, I don't know. This could be a mistake. I'm like, oh, give me my armband. I need a cocktail. Jesus, don't piss me off. I got alcohol waiting on the other side.
There's 2 free drinks and a handicap crapper. Oh, that's the VIP? Thank you very much.
Was there any shortage of cocktails at the Gay Pride Parade?
Oh, no. Plenty of those.
We can move along.
Yes.
Well, there we go.
Question. You've been married to a woman for 20 years. You get divorced. And then you find out her new boyfriend is on, the meganslaw.com. You find out.
What is that?
It's like where you go to find sex offenders.
Okay.
And so you find out he's a sex offender. What do you do? Well, you have 2 children.
Well, what do you mean? You don't have to ask. It's over. It's done.
No, this is your ex-wife.
Her new boyfriend.
Her new boyfriend is a sex offender.
Well, you put an end to it.
How did you do that?
A phone call. I don't know. You say, hey, did you know what I know?
You're just jealous. Why do you always have to invade my life? I'm finally happy, and why are you trying to ruin
looking out for the children.
So it doesn't matter what the sex offender did to become a sex offender, right?
I didn't even ask that.
You didn't ask that, did you?
Well, it's not like taking a whiz.
You jumped to conclusions, didn't you?
If you take a whiz in public, that's not a sex offender charge.
Yeah. That is.
So it could be that.
Yeah. It could be that.
Oh, boy.
Well, I don't know what you did.
This guy, his name's Willie Tarpley. He found out about his ex-wife's new boyfriend. The man was a convicted sex offender, and Tarpley didn't want his children anywhere near him. So last week, around 8 in the evening, Tarpley drove to his old house, grabbed one of his samurai swords out of the garage, and threatened to use the 42-inch blade to cut the boyfriend's head off.
Not sure that's the way to handle it, but...
The boyfriend tried to flee, but hit Tarpley's Corvette in the driveway.
With his
Now
penis.
you've hit my car!
Oh, my.
That's when Tarpley reached into the open car window and plunged his sword. I know you hate it when I say that. Plunged his sword into the boyfriend. The guy's name's Lee Alexander. He stumbled out of the car, collapsed, dying in the street outside Tarpley's house. So he killed the guy.
Okay.
Maybe he was convicted with a sexual sword fetish group before, and he kind of liked it.
Tarpley was charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and second-degree murder. Says the records show that Alexander was convicted. This is the guy who was the sex offender, the boyfriend of the ex-wife. He was convicted in 2000 of lewd and lascivious battery on a person under 16.
Well, there you go. It wasn't whizzing in public.
Well, but he was 18 at the time.
Oh, no.
So that meant have been like 18-year-old boyfriend, 17-year-old girlfriend.
Oh, jeez.
Or 16-year-old girlfriend, 15, maybe.
Why couldn't he just confront the guy without the sword? Say, look, dude, I've got the print out here. What's this about? to go there and be an executioner and chop his head off.
Because I think you put, now all of a sudden your brain as a father or mother,
he has
for that matter.
2 daughters that lived with the mother, ages 3 and 15 months, and you just don't know.
So
it didn't matter what this guy did.
Yeah.
Well, now he's in prison for murder.
Or Frank would do the same thing. I mean, if he found out.
This is the ultimate hypocrisy here, because Tarpley, well, he himself is a registered sex offender. And so is his ex-wife. Yeah, in 1988, Tarpley and his wife were convicted in a case concerning a woman who once worked for Tarpley as a nude dancer. The Tarpleys were accused of kidnapping the woman, beating her, gluing her eyelids and genitalia shut, and tattooing a 4-letter word on her forehead.
Well, that ain't a fun Saturday night.
I wonder if you have to, when I use glue, I have to like hold it together for it to set.
Maybe they got that quick set, like quick grip.
Yeah, maybe those like
grip.
carpenter squeezy things.
Yeah, vice grips.
Those things.
Clamps.
Yeah, clamps. Thank you.
What do you think the 4-letter word was on her forehead?
Oh, C.
So I was going with that. Yeah. Much worse than dating a 15-year-old when you're 18.
Yeah.
How are the kids?
I hope
they're proud of
Child Protective Services.
their home life.
We're so proud of mommy and daddy and new daddy.
I think they're screwed no matter what. They're cursed.
God.
They're cursed.
They're going to be working down at Tarpley's strip joint when they're 18.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. Free FM, Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. Oh, and Spielberg. Got to put Spielberg on my list of idols.
Okay, all right.
You know, for those who have children, Frank, have you ever taken your daughter to the zoo?
Yeah. It actually was our first date.
Really? She was young then, like 5.
I got goosebumps.
That gave you goosebumps? You're
Yeah.
up on goosebump then.
I am.
That's not
It's
goosebump
cold in
worthy.
here.
No.
Yeah.
Was she
5
scared?
years old.
Was she scared of the scary gorillas and stuff?
She was more scared of the strange
she's
man she'd never met
scared of
before.
this guy she has to call dad now.
Yeah.
I want my other daddy.
What do I call him now? Do I still call him Daddy? Do I call him Daddy 1? And now you're
now
Daddy
you
2?
call him Chuck.
It must be a poignant moment, though, for those little kids now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, when you take them to the zoo and they get scared because they're looking at the scary lion, the scary tiger, the scary gorilla, whatever.
Oh, my.
I knew.
Did you write that down? Heidi will go,
No,
oh my.
With some stupid interruption?
Didn't
Right.
waste the ink, but I knew you would. Now, and I guess there must be some sort of beautiful moment where you comfort your child as your child sees the scary gorilla and then clings to you. Oh, daddy, help me. And you're like, there, little Tina, there. Well, picture what the parents in Amsterdam had to do at the Amsterdam Zoo when a gorilla got out. It jumped its rock foreclosure, not foreclosure. It jumped the foreclosure. Enclosure. Swam through the moat, which they said gorillas aren't supposed to be able to do, but it did. Then it got out. Now, the gorilla, the massive, scary King Kong-like thing, is running around the zoo itself. Now, here's a photo just for you two. Now, this is right next to people with their babies in their arms, their kids in baby strollers, and this massive thing is dong, 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 marching beside you. Can you imagine? Look at the horror on those kids' faces. Now, what would you do? This photo shows me something very interesting.
I would throw my own poop at it.
Can you work one up on command?
If there's a gorilla just jump the fence and standing in front of me, there's no command about it.
It's like your body's defense
I
mechanism.
can't stop it on command. How about that? Halt!
Interesting technique there.
And then I'll just, pay them back. Reach down in there, grab a load of it, and throw it at them.
Nice.
See how you like it.
Notice how in this photo, though, this massive gorilla is passing a family, 2 little girls, and the one little girl is like grabbing her daddy's waist. Help me. He's just standing there. But the mother has thrown herself over the other kid.
Yeah.
Like shielding. She's vulnerable. Her back is now exposed to the gorilla. Interesting how men and women react. The man is just standing there tall, strong, as the little girl cleaves to his waist with her hand in his crotch.
But the kid is closer to the gorilla. I mean, he's not stepping in front of the girl.
I just think women are more protective. I don't think
That's
guys
what I
really
mean.
care.
It's like, look at the positioning there. He has his little girl at his leg, but it's the leg towards the gorilla. Eat her. They're more tender.
Yeah, he's trying to practice. Here, have this. And she's obviously more protective. It's instinctive. You have no time to react. Just, man, I think, take my kids. I'll make another family. Women are like, oh, no, don't take my family.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I'd do in that situation. I don't know if I would naturally
I'd run.
cover. I think I would probably get big and distract them. So I would tell the go, and I would I'd get crazy so that the thing comes after me and my kids are safe.
It's a big gorilla that's bigger than your biggest thing.
I know, but I'm saying it's not the smartest thing to do, but that's probably what
So you'd
naturally.
be like the crazy chicken decoy.
Yeah, I would be like, come out of here!
Maybe that's what he eats in the wild, the things that do that.
Yeah, but then the kids are safe and I'm dead. Now my kids don't have a mommy, so maybe
Dinner's
that's not the
here.
best way to go.
He actually grabbed one woman. Witnesses.
He starts running with the crowd away from Heidi.
They lock you up, tranquilize you. Apparently, witnesses
I'm feeling a
saw
little
him
sleepy.
grab one woman and start pulling her by the arm and hair behind him. So now you've got the big boom, 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 boom.
And like the caveman, like, let me take you back to the cave and pork you.
Maybe he just wanted to put her in his palm and love her.
No,
and
he didn't
take
do that.
Care of her.
But he did pull her. Now, the crowd, people say running, screaming, and they're all just trying to get away. And about 30 yards away from the massive crowd, the gorilla stopped, threw the woman down, laid down beside her, and she screamed and he bit her.
Gave her the old banana.
He bit her?
He bit her because she screamed. He stood up and his mouth was covered in blood. Which brings us to my gay or not quote. See if you think the guy who said this quote in the news was gay or not.
Okay.
About the gorilla story.
About the quote. Everyone was, oh my God, in panic, running away. Oh my God, screaming, wailing, screaming kids running around. I don't know what was going on. Oh my God, I said. My God, kids without parents. It was total drama. That's the quote.
I'm going to vote gay. Frank. It could be just the way that Frosty read it.
It was total drama. Who says that?
All right, I'll go gay.
It doesn't say in the news story whether or not the spectator was gay, but I think we can suppose. It was total drama.
Total.
There we go. Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.